It is dry, but you know, I think I'm seeing bare metal showing through in the odd place. And unless it's my imagination, I think we better give it a second coat. I was having trouble with that first coat there yesterday. Yeah, I'll put the super macro on and we'll have a real close look at it. I'm going to respray this. I wasn't too happy the way the paint was coming out of the nozzle of the airbrush. I think it was probably a little bit too thick, so I'm going to thin it out a little bit. And also, instead of having the rotator constantly turning, I'm just going to leave it stationary. Spray it, turn it a little bit, spray it some more, and I'll be able to keep an eye on it a lot better. I was having quite a hard time there actually seeing where I had sprayed and where I hadn't. Now the rotator does have its place, but for some reason it was giving me a problem yesterday. Or maybe the problem was me. Okay, hopefully this time I can see what I'm doing here. Oh my. Now I put too much on. I thinned it out too much. Well, I guess we'll just have to let that dry, and at least it didn't fill in the holes. So why am I doing more? Now the idea is put a drop or two of CA in that little cup, and then I can dip my applicator into it. Works quite well. We are about as dry as we're going to get here. After, you might say, I was going to say spraying it, but I more or less pooled it on. Yeah, let's slip on the super macro and take a close look, especially at the center one. There is no copper wire showing through now. Okay, you will remember that about 3 episodes ago we'd made up a whole bunch of these things. I'd even used the ultrasonic cleaner to make them nice and clean and pristine. Well, I'm not going to use those because, as far as I can remember, all of them have the larger hole. It was made by wrapping the 5 thousandths diameter wire around a pin that was 23 thou, and we had concluded that if we were to take and use this wire here, which is about 9 or 10 thousandths, and use that to wrap the fine wire around, we end up with a little hole that seems to be a lot more to scale. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and make up a whole bunch more of the smaller ones. I'll do it off camera because I'm going to be doing it exactly the same way as we did a couple of days ago. Anyway, that's the plan. I've made up about 15 here. In fact, exactly 15. And they're all about the same size. I think I'm going to just take one at random and measure it and just see what kind of scale it would really be to. In other words, how big would that be if it was 200 times bigger than what it is? Okay, I know that the shank part of this little drill bit here on the left is 18 thousandths of an inch in diameter. I just measured it. And Just want to make sure that this loop here is flat against the microscope slide. I think it is. Otherwise, we're not going to be looking at it straight on. Anyway, what I'm going to do is put it under the microscope, and I can draw a ruler that'll be 18 thousandths of an inch long, and then we can just measure the size of the hole in the loop, and then we'll know. Okay, I want to get it so that the edge is nice and sharp. That's pretty close. I don't think we can improve on that too much. Alright, we'll just take sort of a snapshot right here, and yeah, then we can go from there. Now, if you're not watching this in high definition, it might be just a little bit hard to see the ruler that I have drawn there. I'm circling around it right now with my cursor. This ruler goes from 0 to 30. And I've sized it so that the 0 is on the left-hand side of the shank of the little drill bit, and the 18 is on the right-hand side. In other words, 18 thousandths. Now, the idea is, if we take our ruler and move it over onto the edge of our eye bolt, put the 0 on the left-hand side, and the right-hand side, we'll just zoom in on it a little bit here. There, you should be able to see it a little clearer now. Okay, the 0 is right over here, and it looks like about 23. So the overall width of this eye bolt is 23 thousandths. Now the hole itself, okay, just take me a minute here. Okay, the hole itself is about almost 11 thousandths. Yeah, we'll call it 11 thousandths. So the overall size of it is 23, and the hole is 11. Now, as far as I know, I got the eye bolt flat, so we are looking straight on it. Now, I do realize that it kind of looks like it's elongated this way, but then you got to remember that this part right here, it looks pretty round. So I think we got it right here. Yeah, I think we did pretty good. All right, now let's just calculate that out and see how much would it be if it was 200 times bigger. Well, as it turns out, it's probably a little bigger than it would be in real life. I can't see an eye bolt being 4.6 inches across, unless it was a real heavy-duty thing, and I don't think it would be quite that heavy-duty. However, as I said before, if we make it any smaller, we're not going to be able to see it. And if we can't see it, then what's the use, right? So I think we're going to just stick with these ones the way they are. And as far as the hole in the center goes, well, it would be a little bit more than 2 inches in diameter. Well, I can't see an eye bolt with a 2-inch hole, at least not, unless it's being used on some real heavy-duty construction crane or something, but it's not. It's just on the ship. So we're going to stick with it the way it is. It's just kind of interesting to me to know how big it would be in real life. So 4.5 inches across in real life. Well, that's pretty big. But anyway, thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.